is going on with gypsy-rose Blanchard? So she made this post to TikTok today. It says, what is cyberbullying? Cyberbullying comes in many variations: posting rumors, spreading gossip. These types of cyberbullying usually result in other people changing their opinions about individuals.
Let's unpack the latest drama that's sparking debates across TikTok and beyond. Gypsy's recent post has taken the internet by storm, with claims of cyberbullying, a controversial tone, and ominous warnings that have everyone talking. Let's dive into what's really going on. In her video, Gypsy addressed what she called cyberbullying, presenting herself as a victim of widespread attacks from creators and the online community. She started by defining cyberbullying, highlighting actions like spreading rumors and gossip. According to Gypsy, these behaviors not only hurt her personally, but also unfairly shaped public perception of her. She made it clear that in her view, much of the backlash she faces stems from deliberate falsehoods designed to harm her reputation. This wasn't just a passing complaint. Gypsy described the situation as a coordinated effort against her, emphasizing her victimhood throughout the video. She even quoted the Bible, referencing John 8:7. Let he who is without sin cast the first stone. This seemed like a pointed message to her critics, urging them to reflect on their own actions before judging her.
Based on the rumors spread. And then the caption reads, if you think the tea is just girl talk or harmless chatter, it's actually called cyberbullying. Then she lists a scripture saying, quote, let the one without sin cast the first stone.
However, what caught everyone's attention was Gypsy's troubling statement about her plans after her parole ends. She suggested she would deal with those she feels have wronged her online. Although she didn't name specific individuals, her words carried an unsettling tone, implying possible retaliation. This part of the video has been particularly controversial as it toes the line between venting frustration and making threats. Interestingly, Gypsy avoided addressing the valid concerns and criticisms raised about her past behavior. Instead, she focused entirely on how she feels wronged by the public and certain creators. The post came across as a one-sided plea for sympathy, lacking the accountability many viewers hoped she would take. This TikTok post felt like a calculated attempt to regain control over a narrative that's been slipping away. Gypsy seemed intent on shifting the focus to her claims of being bullied, rather than confronting the actions that led to the backlash. Her choice of words and religious references appeared aimed at eliciting sympathy while casting doubt on her critics' intentions. Unsurprisingly, the post has drawn strong reactions from the online community, including sharp critiques from creators like Lena Flores and Naha Walker. Both have dissected Gypsy's claims, offering their perspectives on the situation. Lena, in particular, wasted no time addressing the core issues. Gypsy had accused her of cyberbullying, claiming Lena spread rumors and influenced public perception unfairly. Lena's response was direct and confident, cutting straight to the heart of the matter.
Then Gypsy comments on that post and says, everyone knew my past when I was released and y'all were shouting queen. And now, almost a year later, I am bullied and harassed nonstop. Accountability begins when you decide. And Gypsy's actively deleting anybody else's comment who comments on that post. I think that most people supported Gypsy when she was first released. It was her own actions and words that changed people's opinions and made them dig deeper. When Gypsy got up on the Viall Files podcast and said,
this situation has created a significant divide online, with Gypsy's post amplifying conversations about cyberbullying while raising questions about her motives and understanding of the criticism she's receiving. As the debate continues, one thing is clear: this drama isn't dying down anytime soon. Nina wasted no time dismantling Gypsy's claims with precision and boldness. Her response wasn't just fiery, it exposed the contradictions that Gypsy herself has repeatedly demonstrated. Nina highlighted specific examples, pointing out inconsistencies in Gypsy's narrative. She remarked, "This is like when you claimed you never swam, but then a news article showed you swimming with dolphins at Disney. Or when you said you'd never been to a beach, yet there's a photo of you at one online. These weren't minor slip-ups, but part of a pattern of Gypsy rewriting her history to suit her narrative." According to Nina, these constant shifts have eroded Gypsy's credibility, making it difficult for people to take her seriously. Nina emphasized that the public scrutiny of Gypsy isn't rooted in some fabricated campaign of hate, but in Gypsy's own actions and statements.
I don't want to keep having to remind people that I'm not the one who committed the act of the kill. I don't identify as a murderer. That was a pivotal moment for many people, because here's Gypsy having been released early on parole because she said that she was taking accountability for what she did. And then she gets on a podcast and says that. If you want to be a public figure and an influencer, people are going to comment and have their opinions on your life, the things that you post, and the things that you put out into the media.
But Nina didn't stop there. She challenged Gypsy to back up her claims with legal action if she truly believed she was being cyberbullied. Nina bluntly stated, "If you think this is cyberbullying, you need to head down to the courts in Texas and file something through your attorney." This challenge was more than just a suggestion. It was a direct invitation to accountability. Nina confidently explained that legal action would open the door to discovery, potentially exposing Gypsy's private communications, phone records, text messages, emails, and social media activity. To raise the stakes, Nina sarcastically suggested that such evidence might even be shared with the parole board, adding, "Send you back home where you really want to be and where you belong."
Gypsy-Rose Blanchard posted this saying that I was cyberbullying her. He said it's posting rumors, spreading gossips. These are the types of cyberbullying that usually results in other people changing their opinions about individuals based on rumors spread. This is getting very much like when you said you never swam, but then there was a news article showing that you swam in Disney.
Nina also criticized Gypsy's use of the Bible verse about casting the first stone, pointing out the hypocrisy in quoting scripture while her own actions, including violating commandments like "thou shalt not kill," stand in stark contrast. Nina's critique was scathing but well articulated, leaving little room for Gypsy to defend herself. She systematically dismantled Gypsy's claims, making it clear that the public's criticism isn't bullying, it's accountability. Gypsy's own words and actions have led to the scrutiny she faces, from her contradictory statements about her life to her portrayal of herself as a victim.
If you think this is cyberbullying, what you need to go do is go down to the courts here in Texas and file something by your attorney. And then what will happen is I can have my attorney request a discovery because I'm entitled to that, right? And in that discovery, I could subpoena your phone records, all your text messages, all your emails, all your social media info.
Meanwhile, Naha Walker, someone who served time with Gypsy, offered an insider's perspective that carried significant weight. Naha didn't hold back, starting by calling out the irony of Gypsy's anti-cyberbullying stance. She referenced a situation where Gypsy allegedly paid someone $40 to harass another individual online, an act that could easily be classified as bullying. This alone, Naha pointed out, undermined Gypsy's claims of being a victim. She posed the critical question, how can someone decry bullying while engaging in similar behavior?
Literally everything, okay? Because I'm entitled to that anytime you're suing someone, right? And that discovery will give me information to prove that these are not lies or rumors. And then what I will be able to do is send that over to the parole board and send you back home.
Naha continued, addressing the cracks in Gypsy's carefully constructed narrative. She said, "The more details and truth that come out, people are realizing you're not an innocent victim. You've painted a false narrative." Naha also critiqued Gypsy's post-parole behavior, noting that instead of using her platform to advocate for reform or help others, Gypsy has been chasing fame. She summed it up perfectly, saying, "You wanted to be Kim K, creating makeup lines and showing off your outfits. That's not gonna work. It's never going to work." Together, Nina and Naha exposed Gypsy's inconsistencies and challenged her claims with directness and clarity, making it clear that the backlash she faces is a result of her own actions rather than unwarranted attacks from others. Naha's observations about Gypsy's focus on fame and image paint a damning picture, highlighting a significant gap between Gypsy's actions and her claims of victimhood. Rather than using her platform to advocate for genuine reform or support those who have faced challenges similar to hers, Gypsy seems preoccupied with building an image as an influencer. This choice undermines her credibility and raises questions about her priorities. Naha's critique, coming from someone who has first-hand experience with Gypsy during their incarceration, adds a deeply personal and credible layer to this conversation.
You really want to be and where you belong. How about we do that? Or not lies or rumors. And then what I will be able to do is send that over to the parole board and send you back home where you really want to be and where you belong. How about we do that?
One of the most striking points in Naha's response is her focus on Gypsy's post-prison decisions. Gypsy had a rare opportunity to channel her notoriety into meaningful change, such as advocating for prison reform, helping others navigate difficult situations, or quietly rebuilding her life in a constructive way. Instead, she has pursued fame and attention, presenting herself as a social media personality rather than someone focused on accountability or growth. This fixation on fame is at odds with the image Gypsy tries to project, one of victimhood and innocence. It's difficult to reconcile her words with her actions, especially when those actions suggest a desire for admiration rather than introspection. The alleged hypocrisy in Gypsy's behavior is another major sticking point. If the claims that she hired someone to attack another individual online are true, it completely undermines her stance against cyberbullying. How can she demand sympathy while allegedly engaging in the very behavior she condemns? Naha's critique of Gypsy's shifting narratives also resonates. Over time, cracks in Gypsy's story have become increasingly apparent, and Naha's first-hand account underscores why many are now questioning Gypsy's motives and authenticity. Taking a step back, it's essential to look at the bigger picture surrounding gypsy-rose Blanchard. By sharing her life publicly and crafting a narrative that garnered millions of followers, Gypsy willingly placed herself in the public eye. As a result, scrutiny and criticism were inevitable. This is the reality for any public figure. The shift in public perception about Gypsy wasn't driven by malicious creators fabricating rumors. Instead, it was an organic process as people began connecting the dots based on Gypsy's own words and actions, particularly after her release from prison. What started as widespread sympathy has morphed into skepticism as inconsistencies in her story have come to light. Rather than focusing on quietly rebuilding her life and moving forward positively, Gypsy has made choices that continue to stoke controversy. Her bold statements on social media, including threats like not being able to wait until her parole ends to deal with those who have wronged her, are deeply concerning. Such comments are not only unhelpful but also threatening. This behavior raises red flags and further damages her credibility. Finally, there's the unavoidable context of Gypsy's past. The shadow of her role in manipulating Nicholas Godejohn into committing murder looms large over how the public perceives her today. While Gypsy has regained her freedom, Godejohn remains in prison, a stark reminder of the gravity of her actions. This juxtaposition makes it even harder for people to overlook the troubling choices she continues to make, fueling skepticism about her intentions and sincerity. During her trial, Gypsy herself admitted to grooming and coercing Nicholas Godejohn into committing the crime, a revelation that complicates any attempt to portray her solely as a victim. While her circumstances were undeniably complex, her active role in what transpired cannot be overlooked. Accountability is crucial, and Gypsy has yet to fully confront her involvement in these tragic events. Instead of acknowledging how her own actions have influenced public opinion, she has chosen to deflect and go on the offensive, targeting creators who discuss her story. It's also worth noting that Gypsy has amassed a massive following of over 10 million people. With such a platform comes a significant level of responsibility. Fame isn't a one-way street. You can't demand privacy and silence from others while consistently putting yourself in the spotlight. Public scrutiny is part and parcel of being a public figure. Gypsy's attempts to silence critics, including filing copyright strikes against creators, have only fueled the perception that her claims of being bullied are hypocritical. You cannot position yourself as a victim while simultaneously trying to suppress opposing voices. Gypsy's handling of criticism underscores a deeper issue, her unwillingness to take responsibility for her role in shaping the narrative around her. She has the ability to change public perception, but that requires a willingness to confront her past actions and embrace accountability. Growth and reform should be her focus, not fame, adoration, or attempts to control the conversation. At its core, this discussion isn't about bullying Gypsy. It's about evaluating her actions and their consequences. Gypsy faces a choice. She can continue down a path of denial and deflection, or she can take responsibility, learn from her mistakes, and commit to genuine reform. The decision is hers to make. Until she chooses the latter, criticism will persist, and deservedly so. At the end of the day, this conversation isn't about tearing Gypsy down. It's about holding her accountable for her actions and their lasting impact. She has the power to rewrite her narrative, but it starts with genuine accountability and growth, not deflection or denial. The choice is hers, but until she embraces that change, the scrutiny will remain. What are your thoughts on this situation? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates and discussions.